Hello, Westies. How you doing? I hope you had a great week. Listen, I don't know if people make jokes to you when they find out that you're a member of a Presbyterian church, but us pastor types, we get poked at by our colleagues all the time. The jokes usually have to do with a couple of things. One, they make fun of us for all of our committee meetings. I suppose that's fair. But two, they like to make jokes, especially the ones that are theologically inclined. They like to make jokes about predestination. And they make these jokes like we've never heard them before. For instance, if I happen to be at a ministerial alliance meeting where all the pastors in a town get together and talk, if I happen to be at one of those meetings and I say that our congregation was blessed to receive an award for service in the community, somebody there will say, well, of course you did. It was predestined to happen. Bless their hearts. They think they're the first people that have made these jokes. I like it to be funny, but it's not. Oh, they think that we think that God has planned out every step of our lives. And no matter how many times I correct them, that they've got the doctrine wrong and that predestination just means that God chose us, not the other way around, I still get the same jokes over and over. But even though God doesn't make a plan for every moment of our lives, friends, it is true that we Presbyterians trust that God has good stuff in store for us, right? Of course. And we call that idea providence. Providence. When I was in my first year of seminary, we were scheduled to talk about the doctrine of providence in Reformed theology class towards the end of the fall semester. And the night before, the rain had come on, and in the wee hours of the morning, things started to freeze, right? We know what that's like. Well, when all of us students started showing up to class, we were trading stories about having to be careful on the roads, careful on the sidewalks. And then we noticed that our professor was late. And this is a professor who was never late. And after a few minutes, our dean came in and she told us that class was going to get started late because this professor had slipped and fallen and had cut open his forehead, and they weren't sure how bad it was. Well, it ended up being pretty bad, and he had to go to the ER. Another professor stepped in, and when our class finally started, she showed us that what had happened was actually a perfect lesson as we learned about God's providence. Did God cause our professor to slip and fall and cut open his head? No, of course not at all. But was this unfortunate event going to be the last word on the matter? Also, no. On Sunday, the phrase of the benediction we're going to look at is hold fast to what is good. And we're going to take a closer look at God's providence, the truth that God is never going to let evil have the last word. Can't wait to see you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.